Welcome to the Farmers Branch Chamber Chat. I'm Executive Director Grace Spies coming at you today with one of our new members, Heather Davila Heather Davila Coaching. How are you today?
Great. How are you, Grace?
I'm so good.
Good.
We're here in a smart office in Purple Cow Branding's recording studio, so just gonna play and have some fun.
I love it. I love it so much. It looks so cool.
Thanks. I'll take the credit for that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So let's just dive right in. Go ahead and share about your business, what you do, how you came to do it, and anything in between.
Okay, so I am a life coach. I'm a general life coach. So I coach anyone and everyone. There's no limit to who I coach. And I help people make better decisions. And it's one decision at a time. And there's so much exciting things going on in my business right now. But I want to start with your question around, how I got into it. I discovered coaching, and I had never heard of life coaching before. Like, I'd heard of coaching, because I kind of played sports. I was not good, but I tried. But like I discovered what life coaching was, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so amazing, because what it does is it helps people right where they are, and it allows them the space to move forward in their minds, because really the only limits you have are the way you're thinking, how you're processing things. So I remember seriously having this thought when I first started coaching, like, oh, if I tell everyone what I do, then they're going to want to do it. Like, I was so worried because it's gold. Everything that happens in a coaching session is transformative, and you have these breakthroughs that are just, you can't find breakthroughs like that anywhere else as consistently and as thoroughly. So I just love what I do. And so what I get to do is I get to get on the phone with people and watch them walk through transformation after transformation after transformation toward their goal, toward what they actually want. So that's what I do.
So fun.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a lot of myths and misconceptions about the coaching industry.
Okay.
I'm sure you're familiar with some of these, but what do you feel like is your specialty within the industry? I know you said kind of anyone, anything.
Sure.
But what makes you unique as a coach?
Well, I think a lot of it is that what I'm going to do is help you with your mind and figuring out like what mindsets, what things are holding you back just by the way you're thinking about them. A lot of people and they come to me wanting to change actions, and that's totally fine. Like, I want to be more disciplined. I want more motivation. I want to lose weight. And that's all great and good. And we can work on all of those things. But what's unique about what I do as a coach is it's not a short-term fix. It's really being transformed from the inside out based on how you're actually thinking about those things. That's where you're going to have like a lifelong lifeline, like being able to do what you want well after we're done coaching together.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think that is right. That's what I'm looking for. Obviously, like, that's the point of going to a coach. Like, it's great if you want to lose 30 pounds.
Right.
But what you really have to do is develop the person that you need to be and the identity that you need to be that's going to transcend meeting the goal of losing 30 pounds.
Right. Because you can lose 30 pounds on any program and then gain it right back.
Yeah.
But what's unique about what I'm doing is I'm not bringing a short-term change to anything. When you come and coach with me, it's going to affect you in a positive way for the rest of your life. It's going to change the way you think and also give you tools and uniquely tailored to you the available things that I can help you with every step along the way, just depending on what your journey is. Yeah. It's awesome. Yeah.
Good. So tell me, share some of your like success stories. Obviously not any client information, but what are some just cool experiences you've gotten to walk through with people and see them through the other side?
Yeah. So one of my favorite, most recent success stories, I had a client come to me who she really wanted to flourish and do well both at work and at home, but she didn't like her job. She didn't like the way that she was treated at, how they were doling out tasks. She didn't like the way that she was at her job. Like, she was afraid to have tough conversations. And then also, she didn't like the way she was at home. She wasn't able to be there for her kids, for her husband. She wasn't able to do basic things. And so through coaching and through having that space to clear out all the stuff that it just wasn't working, you just kind of get in this idea that that's what's normal and that's just kind of the way life is. And it's not. And so what happened was she got a new job that has better hours, has better boundaries. It's a promotion. And as she's flourishing at the job, she's also flourishing at home, realizing that when the proper boundaries are set up at work, she's able to then fully invest at the house. And at the same time, because of the transformation she's having as a person, she can show up to work exactly who she wants to be. So she's not afraid to have those tough conversations. They still pop up. She's still the same person, and she has to continue to work through the fear. But that's one of my favorite transformations that I've had recently. Another huge transformation is just weight loss. She came to me realizing, like, I just really want to lose weight and I want to feel better about my body. And we were able to dive into everything around, what do you think about food? And what do you think about what's going on when you are when you eat? Like, how do you feel? How do you want to feel? And she was able to transform the way her relationship with food, and it began to really trickle down into all of her other relationships, because she began to see that she has the power to decide how she wants to approach each of those things. And it even helped her at work, realizing I have authority over what I eat. Right? I mean, it's just like basic. Yeah, of course you do. No one's forcing you to eat that. You're not 5. No one's forcing you to eat the banana or the spinach.
Yeah.
But when you're able to walk into that authority, you realize, like, oh, I have authority over a lot of different areas as well. And so she was able to lose weight, move more, feel better. But then it also helped all of her relationships as well. She was realizing, like, food had become this weird crutch for her. Anyways, it was so cool to watch her transform through all those things.
So fun.
Yeah, it's so fun.
What I like, right? You said it kind of right in the middle there of teaching people about their decisions.
Yeah.
And clearly you have it on your board behind you.
I have it right here. Wait, how am I doing this? Right here.
You got it. Just like I have the hard hat somewhere.
Your hard hat is so beautiful, by the way. You're going to get some work done. Yeah.
Or maybe it's a subtle message that I should be picking up on.
Maybe.
So tell us about your "you get to decide" motto. How did that become what's on your board, and what?
Oh, well, this is an encouragement for me. Like, this is totally 100% for me, but I do think that it's so freeing that you were given the power to make decisions. Like, that's completely under your control. I think a lot of times we're trying to control so many things that we have no control over at all. Like, trying to control what other people think, or what we think other people are thinking, or we're trying to control our families or our spouses or work, or things that are just completely out of our control. The thing that we really have control over is our minds.
Yeah.
So we get to decide how we're going to think about the day, how we're going to do the next thing. And that's pretty much all we have control over. And we're really, most of the time, and I'm speaking from experience, giving that power away. Like, well, I don't know. I don't know what to do. We're just like spinning in confusion, or not really wanting to take that authority. but I get to decide. That's something that's been given to me. So when I read that, I'm like, oh, right, I get to decide. What do I want to do right now? How do I want to approach this conflict? How do I want to move forward with whatever it is in my business or with my family or anything? And it's a really empowering moment for me when I say that, and so it just helps my mindset a lot.
It does. I mean, you make such one point after another, which is phenomenal. That right, there's a lot of things we can't control, but we do get to choose our emotions and choose, how we perceive the situation or how we show up for any given day, time, or occasion. So I think that's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And right, isn't it true? Like some of the best mantras that people come up with are born from experience. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's good.
I always tell my clients, like, that may not work for you. That may totally freak you out to say you get to decide. Like, I don't want to decide. Okay. That's okay. It's coming up with a way to think about it that's most beneficial to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me, we're going to kind of switch gears a little bit. I know you've been a long time member of the Farmers Branch community in general.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, this is her claim to fame for now. That she's Brother Eddie's granddaughter.
I thought you were going to say something like I was the lead in the musical at Turner, because that was also my claim to fame.
Ooh, what musical was this?
It was called Once Upon a Mattress. I played the lead in that, so don't forget that either.
Okay, no judgment. So, Once Upon a Mattress. Got it.
That's a great show. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So my granddad is Brother Eddie. Also, Eddie Ketchersid is his full name, but he always introduces himself as Brother Eddie, who has worked forever at the Branch Church.
And so you were born and are part of the Farmers Branch community for pretty much your whole life?
Okay, this is so wild because I grew up here. So I was born in Houston, but I moved here when I was 7.
We'll still accept you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So I moved here when I was 7, and then I went to Janie Stark, Vivian Field, R.L. Turner, and then I left. I got married after college. I got married and we lived in Lubbock, Texas. And then we moved back here in 2018. And now I have 3 kids at Janie Stark. So it's so fun that my kids get to go to, it's not the same building, side note. My building was not as cool as theirs, but the same space, and it's so wild and wonderful because it's interesting that you say that because when I was growing up, I was like, I am not going to live in Farmers Branch. I was really convinced I was going to live in New York City and become an actress, but that's a different story. But when I grew up and I had kids of my own, my family's here and my history is here. And so it's so fun to come back and just rich and invigorating and feed back into the community that helped raise me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You're like the boomerang.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Farmers Branch. Well,
absolutely.
That's cool.
I'm a boomerang.
I'm not from here, and I have just fallen in love with Farmers Branch. It really is a sweet city, all the parks and just all the things to do. It's got that small town in the big city feel.
Yes.
So.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about, let's go to some more good stories. What was it like, coaching, being a parent, navigating through the last year for you? What have you done that's new and unique in your business? What were you already doing that was like, oh, I'm so glad that I have this in order already?
Yes. So with the last year and the way that it went, it took a lot of juggling and a lot of flexibility. But the beautiful thing about what I'm doing is I coach people all on the phone. And so I didn't have to change a lot about my business plan or type. I did have to change the way that I met people. I had to change the way that I went out into the community and began engaging. And so I dove into social media, which I hadn't really ever done before in my life. I actually joined social media like 2 years ago. So I've had to like learn that, and that's been surprisingly good. I was really scared of it, but being a part of social media has shown me there's a lot. It's like any kind of weapon. You can use it for good or you can use it for not so good. So I and engaging in social media has been so fascinating in a lot of different ways. So that was one of the things that I did differently. And then also I really have loved the way that my business plan works, because one of the main reasons I wanted to do coaching was to continue to be involved in my family's life. And the pandemic, we had a lot of family time. I don't know if you know this, but there was a lot of family time. But it just confirmed that for me. Like, yes, these are the people I want to be around. This is how I want to be spending my time. So yeah, so those are some ways that the pandemic shaped my business and who I am as a business owner. And if anything, it just affirmed time and time again the need and the insane value of coaching. It's so valuable and it's so accessible to people in that you don't have to go somewhere to get coached. You can do it right from your phone.
So awesome. How do people get a hold of you?
Well, they can always like look me up on Facebook and just totally stalk me in the most unknown way. So I encourage people like just go watch my stuff on Facebook if you're interested. It's just Heather Davila. It's just my own name. You can also email me, which is just davila.heather@gmail.com, and or message me on Facebook. Any of those ways are great. I would love to get to know anybody that is interested or anyone who knows somebody that could be interested in coaching. Even if you're like, hey, I've always wanted to be a coach, tell me more. I love talking to other coaches and connecting like that too. It's just a fabulous tool, and clearly I could talk about it a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You have like some content that people can go watch and get a flavor for this is who Heather is and the kinds of things that they'll get from coaching with you.
Yeah. I've got lives. Yeah. And I have a workshop coming up next Monday. So the 19th at 8 a.m. People can sign up for that through Facebook or through emailing me, whatever. And those workshops are great first steps into tasting what this workshop is all on motivation and how to get motivated and what are the myths of motivation, which, I could talk about for the next 30 minutes, but it is such a great amount of content because so much of what we think the gap is, I'm trying to get both my hands in here. What we think the gap is between where we are and where we want to go is motivation. And so that's what this workshop will be all about, how to get the motivation and what are the myths that we keep believing.
That's so good. And it's all online?
Yeah, that'll be a Zoom call. So you just sign up and I send you the Zoom link and we get on the Zoom call and you can learn. And also it's a great place to ask questions and just have conversations. So like the first 30 minutes is me talking and the last 30 minutes is question and answer around how do we get you motivated? What's going on with you?
Awesome.
Yeah.
So fun. Cool. Yeah, we should get one of these, that we promote through the chamber and all that.
Okay, great. Yeah.
The Monday morning motivation, like once a month or something with Heather.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I do. I love motivating. There's something about somebody stepping into your space and just, it just takes a few words. I really think that there's so much power in words and we lose that, or we use it for the wrong thing. But I love motivating people and stepping into that space as well.
So awesome. I love your energy. Like you clearly have passion for what you do, for helping other people, and just this high energy. Every time I've spoken with you or Sunrise Zoom or anywhere, I can just tell that like you're a person who shows up for life.
Yeah.
And I really feel like we need more of that in the world for sure.
Well, thank you, Grace. That is a nice thing to say. Yeah.
I'm just being honest. So
okay. Thank you for being honest. Yes. Thank you.
and I'm going to even try and hop on. I'm actually on vacation this week, Sunday through Wednesday, but all the more
Nice.
reason that I don't have anything else to do except sleep in on a Monday morning. And
Oh, how exciting. Is this when you're going to Florida?
yes.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I am not jealous. I am just happy for you. and just like a little bit jealous, but I'm very happy for you.
Well, clearly I still need to work on my tan, so.
Oh, I was just thinking you look really tan.
Well,
you look great. You're doing good work on the tan. Looks amazing.
It's a tough hustle, but someone's got to do it.
Yeah, that's work, man. You got to commit to tan.
So what about you? Where do you like to travel? Tell us some things about Heather personally. What do you like to do for fun? And
oh man, I love to read, which is not exciting. I do. I love reading. I'm reading Win the Day by Mark Batterson still. Yeah. I think I've told you about that. So I'm just doing like a slow read of that. I'm not in a rush. I'm doing that. I love getting together with people, so I'm kind of excited that the pandemic might be over. I love to work out. I do CG workouts, so just like a plug for them. Camp Gladiator. All the people that are in the know call it CG, but it's Camp Gladiator. So I work out a lot, and that's where I meet people, and that's also something that helps me with my energy. So, but where I like to travel, we're actually going to go on a trip at the beginning of June. We're going to go to the North Carolina.
Oh, that's a beautiful area in summertime.
I know. And it's so soon. Somebody told me the other day, like there's just a few weekends left in April. And I was like, you can't say those things out loud. What is happening? So anyway, so we're going to go to North Carolina. My husband has family up there. We'll do the beach thing, which my kids really haven't ever done a beach trip. I know I'm talking to a beach aficionado here, but like we haven't done that with them apart. And so I'm super excited just to like let them loose on the beach and see what happens. So it'll be my favorite way to vacation is to not do stuff. So it'll be very much let's not do stuff. Yeah, absolutely. So that's why I have my book that, beach and book, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Brother Eddie actually gave me a copy of Win the Day for my birthday. So I've actually, guilty confession here, I've already started packing for my trip.
It's already, what day is it? Yes, you absolutely need to start packing. You absolutely need to start packing.
But that's my book to take with me to, read on the plane and whatever else is something.
Oh man, Papa's the best.
He is
the best.
Such a good guy.
Yeah, and Mark Batterson should definitely start paying him for giving out copies of his book.
And John Maxwell, and
he's just like passing them out. Like he just wants. He's such a servant. He just wants to give. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah.
All right, Heather, we're gonna just kind of open it up. Share something you want to just to encourage other people who might be listening, who might watch this later. They could be a parent, could be a business owner, or someone in our community. What words of encouragement would you give to them at this moment in time?
Well, I just want to encourage you, whoever is watching this right now, that when you tap into the power of decisions, you begin to see the decisions that are in front of you every day and the decisions that you have within those decisions. And instead of it becoming overwhelming to you today, just take it one decision at a time. You get to decide. So when you make that first decision, focus on that one thing and then do the next thing. It sounds so simple, but there's so much freedom in taking it one decision at a time and being done with it and moving on. So often we say, oh, we'll make that decision later. I don't have enough information. And then you end up having I call them open loops, about 50 open loops going. And that's where the overwhelm starts to set in. Just make one decision at a time today. You got this.
I love that. It's so good.
Thanks. Yeah.
I call, and I like what you said about the open loops. Like that's really good, because I call it, I get stuck at decision junction.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
And sometimes it's even like in my downtime, I'm like, well, I like to paint, I like to read, I like to be by the pool. And then sometimes when that option comes, when I'm at decision junction of what do I want to do for me or for fun, I almost get overwhelmed there.
Yes.
And so I've made like a little cup that I draw out of, and it'll be, okay, I'm going to paint for 20 minutes, right? And all I do is commit to like 15 or 20 minutes of the activity. If I do it for longer, great. If I don't, but yeah, that would be so good. Like, I think that's why like 8 balls were created. Not that I like support or endorse those, but it's like, like sometimes you get stuck at, I don't know, again, I call it decision junction. And I like what you say, you just make a decision and move forward.
Yes.
Always make a different decision if you need to, but
yeah. And you just sparked something too. Something that has been so encouraging for me and my clients is to think that you cannot do it wrong. Because even if you completely fail and fall on your face, you can learn from that failure, and you're better because you're learning from it than if you had done it right and you never even thought about it. So you can't do it wrong. Do it right or fail, you still win in the end. It's such a freeing thought. So just hearing your story, I'm like, oh, you can't do that wrong.
No. Well, and again, one of my things is that like I'm piggybacking on your little nugget here, but
go for it. Yeah.
I can always make a different decision later.
Mm-hmm.
I went through that when we were rebuilding our chamber website. I was like, well, there's so many platforms out there. There's so many things, WordPress, MailChimp, whoever. And I was like, well, I don't know how to pick which one. I'm not an IT person or website builder, but I just kind of figured, okay, let's start with this one. We can definitely produce a better website than what we had. And if we need to, we'll make a different decision a year or 2 down the road. And fortunately, someone came along and was like, let me build your website for you. And I was like, go right on ahead.
So that was your new decision. That was your new decision. Like, actually, I'm going to decide now. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it was just kind of we did our best effort. The website was better for 6 months, almost a year that we had that one up, and now we have another new website. And so for whatever encouragement that is to someone out there, sometimes, you just make a decision, and 6 months, a year down the road, you pick a different decision.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can only make the decision with the information you have right now. So often we think, well, I just need more information. Well, I just need more information. And that creates those open loops again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to wrap this up, but I really strongly encourage you, reach out to Heather, have a conversation with her. Again, I'm confident you'll leave with energy, with passion. Again, she just carries this clear gift in which she wants to make the world a better place. So here's her information, her email. You can find her on social media. Join us for her workshop Monday morning, 8 a.m. Sign up through Facebook for the Zoom link on that. And did I miss anything else, Heather?
No, you did so good. You're such a great listener. Thank you, Grace.
Absolutely. Well, that's my job. I feel like, it's to be able to do everyone's 30-second commercials in 15.
Yes, that is exactly what your job is. Absolutely.
So, and to everyone out there, just thank you for joining us. We encourage you to share this with someone who might need some encouragement, and we'd love to host any of your businesses here on the Farmers Branch Chamber Chat. So have a great day, everyone. Bye, Heather.
Bye.